So, how are you enjoying the Starfield new expansion, hey? Me too. I had no idea that it was even out, but it did come out approximately a week ago, and let's just say players, and this is going to stagger you, aren't very happy with it. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. My last major video was No, we do not class that as a major video. We class that as brain damage. Nope, I discussed Bethesda and the potential struggles that they're going to have with the Elder Scrolls 6, as it does appear to be the company's next releasing game. 3 days after the release of that video was the release of the Starfield expansion, Shattered Space. Should have called it Shaft My Face. Sorry, it's past 10 PM here in the UK as I've started making this video, so it's pretty much the best you're going to get out of me this time of night.
That's what she said.
You really know when a game's up against it when it gets IGN out of 10. Oh dear me. Even the Metro that knows as much about games as, well, IGN... gave it a 4 out of 10, calling the game a lost cause and using a certain word which, I got to admit, brings a whole load of joy to my heart. Boring! We're so fucking boring! The release of the expansion only brought back a fraction of the audience, averaging around 8,000 to 9,000. It suddenly peaked up to about 21,000. However, since the launch of the expansion, it's already drifted down to tops of around 15. Now, if you compare that with Skyrim across this whole period has still performed better than Bethesda's brand new IP, averaging 18,500 players and topping off at around 30,000. But not only is Starfield being beaten by a 13-year-old game made by the same company, but it could only manage to peak at number 83 in the Steam charts, which, let's just be honest, is absolutely pathetic. And the people that are actually playing it, which, let's be honest, isn't that many, have given it a mostly negative review on Steam, with 1,834 reviews coming in already. The top review is actually positive and gives the expansion a thumbs up, with the statement of, "The story is boring as fuck. Would recommend if you have insomnia and need to work the next day." That's pretty much the best Bethesda can get out of this. Other such reviews are a little bit more seething, with a not recommended. Starfield and now Shattered Space feels like a game made by a bunch of retired in-place managers.
Thought you were, retired.
Retarded.
Retired.
Doing the bare minimum to meet requirements, directing a bunch of outsourced labor to create the most mediocre product possible. It's an incredibly lazy game all around. The main thing this game and its DLC has done is collectively and severely lowered everybody's expectations for the Elder Scrolls 6. That's funny, because I just did a video about that. No new features, no fixes to the fact this game is still a boring mess, not even an attempt to fix the game's core issues, and they released this for $40. What a joke. Yep, that's right, costing the UK a staggering £26 or $30 in the US. This expansion, which is approximately 6 to 7 hours worth of gameplay, really feels that Bethesda is taking its customers for a ride. But
as long as the credits keep rolling in,
life's good.
The expansion seems to be insult to injury for a lot of players as they feel that nothing has been done to repair the game. It's still as dull and boring as ever. The characters and the story are lifeless, and this, to be honest with you, does not surprise me in the slightest. And even though each of these assets have been individually crafted, there is a ton of reskins involved, and essentially nothing really for the players to get their teeth stuck into. But we are dealing with a company that's so renowned for its bugs that they even left the mouse cursor in the top right hand corner for a portion of their release trailer. Is this insignificant nitpicking, or are we legitimately dealing with a larger, more systemic problem within the company, which is lack of detail, care, attention, and quality control?
As long as the credits keep rolling in, life's good.
And with the bulk of the criticisms for the expansion pointed towards the fact that it is dull, disinteresting, boring, way too short, doesn't address any of the problems of the base game, doesn't bring anything new, brings with it a whole new bunch of other bugs, this might legitimately be the case. If you purchased the premium edition of Starfield back when, then this expansion was actually included as part of it. Part of it, not free. The premium edition costs more than a standard edition, which begs the question, was Bethesda ever incentivized to make something decent? Particularly after the reception that Starfield got and the fact that it lost approximately 97% of its player base within the first 6 months. You might find that a little bit far-fetched, but also bear in mind the likelihood is that this is content that was created alongside the base game. The chances are the areas were procedurally generated like they were in the real world, and maybe one of the tweaks that they actually did to the expansion, hence why it's come out over a year after the release of the game, is the fact that they decided to do some handcrafted areas because the procedurally generated ones were not giving players the variety which they thought they were going to get. But also the fact that this only takes about 6 or 7 hours to complete lends itself to another possibility that yes, it was created after the release of Starfield, they just didn't really put any effort in at all. Purchase the premium edition and they've already got your money. The incentive for them to go above and beyond is entirely lost. Purchase only the standard edition and charge a small fortune for this expansion on the guise that you have something new to actually play, and try and recoup some of the losses back from this absolute flop of a game. Come on now, ads, that's just ridiculous. These are professionals here. They have pride in their work. They'll absolutely understand that Starfield failed as a game. It didn't live up to what Bethesda have created in the past, and they'll be working hammer and tongue to rectify this for their audience. They are self-aware, you know, they're not delusional. Bethesda honcho says Starfield is the best game we've ever made in massive bout of amnesia. Yeah, even the mainstream media think you're loco, SA. Starfield design director Emil Pagliarulo isn't letting this dissuade him. Although Starfield might not be, quote, everyone's cup of tea, he reckons, quote, it's also in a lot of ways the best game we've ever made, and I couldn't even say that with a straight face, and I've done 3 takes of this part of the video. Yes, from the studio that brought you Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and just because I'm feeling rather nice today because it's Friday, Fallout 4 on top of that, Emil wishes to say that Starfield is the best game that they've ever made. That has to go under most delusional takes of 2024. And as Grum says on Twitter here, this is the entire reason AAA games are failing right here. And it's about lack of accountability. A year ago, when Starfield came out, Bethesda knew there and then that it was a disaster for them. It failed their customer base and didn't provide them with the type of game that they did expect from a company of Bethesda's size, stature, and reputation. They knew it then, and they know it right now. So in the meantime, with the creation of Shattered Space, they knew once again that they were putting out a substandard, subpar expansion, probably going mostly to people that have already paid extra with the premium edition, offering them nothing of worth, additional bugs, more boring dialogue and characters, and not in any way, shape, or form addressing the problems that the game has had from its release. And instead of taking responsibility for that, they would rather try and gaslight people with some of the most absurd things I've ever heard from a creative director. I'll leave the final word with the poor customers that spent their hard-earned money on this brand new expansion. Until the next video, you take care. Bye for now. I don't want to set the world on fire. The copyright gods got me, so you've got me for this part.